Hi, my name is Jed Fowler and I'm the creator of the Contact Staff card deck. This is an explanation and walkthrough video of how to play one of my favorite games that you can play with the deck. There's a few different games you can play. They're included in the instruction booklet here, but this is a video walkthrough of my favorite one. It lets pretty much anyone play the game together, regardless of level of experience, and have a good time. First, I'll do a quick overview of how the game works, and then we'll join in with a group of friends and play a round or two, just to show you how the game works and see it in action. If you're not sure what the game is, you can head to masterflowarts.com and you can find an intro video there that gives you a nice video explanation about what the game is and what it's all about. A game is played over the course of 5 rounds. In the first 4 rounds, you receive 6 cards in your hand and use these cards to challenge your next person to the left or to your right to play a Contact Staff trick. So they have to look at the cards and obey the instructions on the cards, and that will guide how they use the Contact Staff to create their trick. The performer gets 3 attempts to finish the trick. If they manage to perform the trick and obey all the instructions on the cards within those 3 attempts, both the challenger and the performer get to keep a card each. So that's used for the final round. First, you challenge the person to your left, and then to the right, then left, then right again, until you've played 4 tricks for another person to attempt, and until you've done 4 tricks yourself. So in the final round, you would have collected a separate stash of cards in front of you from the tricks in the first 4 rounds. You then create the trick for yourself to perform for everyone else. Again, you only get 3 attempts to perform this trick, and if you are successful, you add up the scores in the top left of the card, and then you add them up, and then whoever has the highest score wins. So let's grab some friends and have an actual playthrough, show you how it works. Each card also has a difficulty rating, which is represented on each card by these symbols. You can adjust the difficulty by simply removing the harder cards. To start the game, first, shuffle all the cards together. Remember, if you want an easier game, you can remove the hard cards. Now, deal 7 cards to each player. Each player chooses 1 card to keep, placing the card face down in front of them. The remaining 6 cards are passed to the player to their left. The goal is to use these cards you keep to create a trick for the player to your left to perform later on in the game. Now you've got 6 cards received from the player to your right. Choose another card to keep and then pass again to your player to your left. So what I'm doing here is choosing cards to create a trick with the person to my left. I don't want to make the trick too hard or too easy because I want them to be able to finish it and to complete it, but the harder cards I use, the more points I'll get at the end of the game. I also want different type of cards in my hand, otherwise it might be very difficult making a suitable trick if all the same cards are the same type or colour. Remember, you can't have the same type of card or colour in the same column when making a trick. Each player now discards 1 card of their choice, so they're left with 6 cards in their hand in total. These 6 cards are used to make a trick for the person to your left. Before we continue, let's refresh how tricks work. Cards can be placed in nearly any order, but the trick must be performed 1 column at a time, going from left to right. You cannot have 2 cards of the same type or colour in the same column. Now it's time for Brett to challenge me in the first round of the game. What? So to start off with, my hands or feet must be together. The staff must then move into a lock or a trap. I then need to squat down while spinning fast. The staff needs to do 1 rotation, and I need to have my arms down. Cool. Let's see how I go. Hand feet together, lock, trap, squat. If the performer is successful, first the trick maker, then the performer get to choose a single card from the trick to keep. They place this card to the side into their personal collection until the final round of the game. The remaining cards go into the discard pile. The performer gets 3 attempts to do the trick. Other players decide if they completed the trick or not successfully. Now it's the next round. It's my turn to challenge Jeremy to do a trick. Here's the trick I made for him. First he needs to walk, then he needs to turn to his right, Next, he needs to jump while leaning forwards and the staff is touching his back. The staff then needs to get to his right wrist somehow. These cards need to be performed in order from left to right. He can be leaning forwards or backwards or anything with his body in the first 2 sections, but as soon as it gets to the 3rd section, his body must be forwards. Same, the staff can be on any part of his body, but until it gets to the third column there, the staff must be on his back, and then it must go to his right wrist. Let's see how he goes. The first attempt failed because he didn't get the staff to his right wrist. This time he forgot to jump. Now he looks focused. Turning right, jump, right wrist. That's it. So Jeremy had 3 attempts and he got the trick on his 3rd attempt. So luckily, now we both get to choose a card. So as I was the challenger, I get to choose first, and then Jeremy gets to choose a card for his personal pile. This pile is kept until the end of the game. The other cards are discarded, and they're not used for the rest of the game. We move on to the next round, and now Jeremy is challenging Squid to perform a trick. So right shoulder spinning clockwise. The staff must start on the right shoulder, rotating clockwise. It must then move to the left wrist. It needs to be low to the ground and then rotating off center. Then she needs to do something that's very average. Doesn't matter what she does as long as it's average looking. Your left wrist off center.
I like the average card.
Yeah. And then it has to be average.
Yeah, only at that point.
Okay. So, right shoulder, low, wrist. Oh.
Attempt 2.
Right shoulder spin. Low. Right shoulder.
Left wrist,
Off.
low, off center. Yes! That's it!
Average!
Luckily, Squid got it on her last go, so now they get to choose a card each and discard the rest. Thank you.
Okay.
Fred's turn.
Body position, lean backwards, side of contact, back. Action.
Oh.
Turn left, then throw, then arm back onto your elbow.
Okay, so
I'm sorry.
there's an immediate challenge. Where's the gravity turn off button?
This is about the dark side of the
Okay, how am I going to do this?
How can you pitch that deck?
Alright, attempt 1. So I'm gonna lean back, do that, throw to my left elbow.
Yeah!
You hold it with your hands though, I'm not sure if that's alright.
That's fine.
I can try again. So lean back. I'm going to go to there.
Yes.
Turn left.
Pick your card.
But then he did.
He did. Then we would do it.
Yeah, keep recording. And I think everyone's had a go now.
Yeah.
Now that the first round is finished, there should be a pile of discard cards in the middle, and everyone should have 0, 1 or 2 cards next to them from their winnings in the first round. Now deal out 7 cards to every player again and select which cards you want to keep. But this time we're passing to the right. Now we repeat the draft as per the first round. So you select 1 card to keep and then pass the deck on to your right. Then you receive the next 6 cards from the person to your left, choose another card to keep, and then you'll hand off the 5 remaining cards all the way down until there's no cards left going around and every player should have 7 cards sitting in front of them. Now this is separate to the 0, 1 or 2 cards you have kept from the first round. Those first round cards are kept for the final round. Each successive round you alternate passing to your left and then to your right. Now you are creating a trick for the person to your right. So you need to discard 1 card, so you then will have 6 cards in your hand. So I'm creating a trick for Brett to do next. I want the cards to be difficult so I get more points at the end of the game, but not too difficult that he can't do the trick.
Okay.
Slow.
Yeah. Oh, good.
I'll start.
Oh.
No more harm.
Roll. And then, for a little bit of fun.
Slide drink.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got this.
I need a drink. The party cup.
Tea is perfect.
Hold on.
Small amount of coffee. Cool. Then roll. Slide drink. Okay. I think this is straight. How am I going to stay straight? Off stuff. Whoa. Roll. Slide.
Ooh, that might have been it. Yes! Threw that down. Let's jump ahead to the final round. So everyone should have played 4 rounds with challenging twice and receiving a trick twice. At the end, you should have a separate pile up to 8 cards in your hand by the final 5th round of the game. You get to choose up to 6 of these cards to make a trick for yourself. When all players are ready, everyone reveals their hand at the same time. If you perform the trick within 3 tries, you can count up the scores of the cards in your trick, and that's your final score. In this hand we have 1 point, 1 point, 1 point, and 1 point for a total of 4, plus 2 points for 6, and then 1.5 for 7.5. Whoever has the highest score wins. If 2 players have the same high score, you then count up the additional points in the cards that weren't used. So if you had 6 cards on the ground, you had an extra card sitting there in your hand that was not used in the final round, add that score up as well. Then whoever has the most points in total for all cards they use in the final round, that player wins. If they've still got the same amount of points, then each person has to, whoever is tied, they need to challenge each other and do their tricks. So say there's 2 people who are tied for first place, they both need to perform each other's tricks, and whoever does it best by popular vote gets to win. If you don't want to, you don't need to do the scoring at the end. You can just, after each round, shuffle all the cards back into the deck and keep playing. That way the game never really ends. You can just have people jump in, jump out, if there's like a lot of people around or you're at a festival or something, you can just keep playing rounds until, people don't want to play anymore. So that's it. I hope you really enjoy the game. I hope you enjoyed the video and walkthrough. Hopefully it gives you a clearer idea of how to play the game. And thank you very much to Brett, Squid, Jeremy, Fiona and Abby who helped me make this video. You can head to masterflowarts.com if you have any additional questions or want any additional information on the deck. Bye, have fun.